although I have always been a party voter, I find myself cringing at times for the party I would vote for. I think it's been so hectic lately that it's really hard to pick up what's going on, and for me, I see the ABC in particular as a very biased media outlet. They take on all of the left-wing issues and they just push it, and I find that the radio, I can hear it now over and over and over, just is biased for rights and minority groups, and that's their obsession rather than sort of the bigger picture of what this country needs. As more of a right-wing conservative, I just feel there's no voice. I go onto social media and it's the same sort of thing. You've got, and the government could play a role in this, but you've got social media, people who they label as right-wing, they don't let in the country. They shut down social media. They block their Twitter accounts. Now, that to me is censorship. We're not talking about people who are coming here with machine guns to kill people, or people who are coming here to actually encourage and incite violence. They're coming here to talk about right-wing politics and conservative politics, and for some reason, and I would think if Peter Dutton's at the top of the pile here, he ought to, as a right-wing politician, he ought to have some sort of say in the immigration department allowing people to come in this country who aren't inciting violence. They're speaking calmly to groups of people, and then you've got the nutcases outside who are inciting violence. I mean, you look at immigration policy, what's the difference with immigration now and what's that guy's name who's running the Labor Party? Shorten. You got Shorten, you got the left and right at the moment, and the immigration, he's just said a couple of days ago that it's basically the same. They're not going to turn back the votes to the Labor Party now. So if they were just for years fighting on the coalition about turning back the vote. It was inhumane, it was this, they have rights and rights and rights. Now Labor are supporting not turning back the votes because they know it works. And a little bit of egg in the face. Definitely, I vote for Peter Dutton because I follow him, and know beyond the persona.
I grew up in Clango. I've been here for 41 years or so. Clango and Peachtree used to be a little country town. I'm not too much up with the politics, but as long as I don't know, some puppets there running the country, basically that's all they are, it's little puppets. And what they do need is, they need to fix up a couple of the, like Young's Cross and just the natural things we've got, like we've got a nice little swimming hole down there. Well, a lot of people think it's just a mud puddle, but kids like to go swimming down there, if they fixed it up a little bit and made still kept the nature side of it, but, put a couple of Tarzan swings in the tree, get back to what we used to do as a kid, go and roll around the mud, and, there's a lot more that we could do in this country. Like, I went in the city the other day and I've seen 8 people sitting there sleeping. One was at the front of 7-Eleven, another one was at the front of McDonald's there, Hungry Jack's or whatever it was, and I suppose it comes down to the person, like with the ice in the community. Well, it's everywhere, that's destroyed, at least 4 of my mates. I reckon I would vote for Peter Dutton coming election, only because of the stuff that he has done in the past. I reckon he's been actually quite good. I've known him since I was a young kid, actually, And they've always tried to improve the area and all that sort of stuff,
I come here 13 years ago. There was farms in town, a lot of farms and things, and it sort of slowly got built out. But 13 years means I'm not a local though, You've got to be here for a long time to be a local. The place is changing, and unfortunately a lot of country people don't like change. You know, this is their town, and they don't want to see change and people different, you know, in their areas. I think a lot of money's come into this town from obviously the demise of our dairy industry in Queensland. This was a very big dairy farming industry around here. I believe one of the biggest. And yeah, the deregulation sort of allowed southern milk to come in here and into Queensland, and I think it put a lot of the dairy farmers that were generation after generation sort of in a position, the only thing they had of value was their land. So I guess the best thing to do is sell it. There's a lot of young kids running around here that would have been dairy farmers, and they've had to find jobs in mines and run around and do different things. I'm a small business owner. So at the end of the day, I'm probably happier with who's in power federally now than could be. Only for the fact I'm a small business, and I don't believe the other major parties go down that line of thinking about small business so much. Look, from my point of view, I think the moment you get big unions and corporations that get together that totally control the way the system's done, and allows everyone to have more power than the business owners. Like, I don't think it's a good thing, because at the end of the day, you see so many industries collapse, car industries and whatnot. And look, I hear how they carry on about, oh, they've all gone on strike because the company stopped giving them like bickies for their bloody smoko rooms, and we're going to go on strike over that. I don't think that's right. I think the fact is, we used to regularly hear about all these boats turning up in our country, and to be honest, I haven't heard about much of that happening for the last probably 3 or 4 years. So I don't know whether they're sinking them or they're turning them. I don't know what's happening with those, but at the end of the day, whether it's a media block or something, I'm not sure. But whoever's doing that and whoever's controlling that, I think obviously they're doing a better job than what was being done.
I've lived in the area 42 years. I think we've been left behind. I think we're not struggling, but we should be more united more than anything. And I can't see the facets like Liberal, Labor, National Party doing any good until they get rid of the shit they've got to get rid of. Yeah, we've been forgotten a little bit, the Aussie battler. Federal politics is in an uproar like the rest of them. They're all like bees to honey. I think in the Bible it says the man of many coats, and I think they throw that on any time they get in front of a camera. And you've still got the older blokes here when I started back in '75 that were traditional Labor, and they're confused. That'll explain, even the country lad can't understand what's going on.